dozen Rotarians or possibly more read for 6 weeks with second graders, and we have asked Mr. Darby if he would give us the name of an educator that made a difference. We did not pose that as the teacher of the year, because that has definite implications as far as every school is concerned. They elect one every year. So we broadened it, and please accept this as an opportunity to serve better as an educator. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
I certainly want to thank you all for the opportunity to be here today, and I want to thank you on behalf of the children and the staff at CTAC and Achieve a Dream Academy for all that you do. Anytime that anyone have the opportunity to come into the school, it really impacts our children with a lot of disadvantages. And so when you come and you share your precious time, it really speaks volume to our students. And so we really truly appreciate all that you do. And just want to salute your leader. You have a leader with 2 fabulous names, Apostle Paul and Apostle Peter, who are tremendous leaders back in the century, back in the time. So to your fine leader and all that you all have done for us, we salute you again. Miss Craig is a tremendous teacher at our school. She's a 3rd grade teacher. 3rd grade is when our students begin to test for the very first time. And not too many people can say this, but Miss Craig, she had 100% of her kids in both subjects to pass all of the SOL tests.
I was at your school yesterday subbing, sir, for the first time, and that's outstanding. Thank you. Outstanding. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Ms. Beal and Dr. Johnson, would you join me up here, please? What did I do now?
I said that was the first time you've ever been compared to a saint.
Get your heart out.
Moving right along.
That's what I'm trying to do, Father Mark. We had a new opportunity to serve another community called Bayside Middle School this past year. We received, I think it was, Charlie, how many,
What?
we had how many packets that we had to grade? I think it was roughly 250 papers to read and make some appropriate comments on these 6th graders?
7th and 8th graders.
7th and 8th graders' portfolios. We've done it in the past for Kentsville High Schools, working with a English teacher, but this is our first entrance into Bayside Middle School, and we were very pleased to be able to serve. Ms. Beal, would you please accept this small token to better education at Bayside Middle School?
Good morning. I've been hoarse for about 6 weeks now, so I apologize for my voice with it. Been at Bayside now for 3 years. We have been struggling with accreditation. Our writing scores went up by 7% this year, so we're on our way. Thank you for your work. The journey to success is not always easy. You make it better for us, and I thank you for that. A little about Ms. Beagle. She is the literacy specialist. She went out to look for different ways of helping us with writing. So we wanted to give the students feedback. It didn't have to be that you were an expert at the writing process, but just that if you could answer the question, did they answer the question? And if not, what tips can you give them? So she was really good at that. This is her 24th year in education. She's done online, all ed, and she's family. We started at Lansdowne High School together. I was a math teacher. She was English. She's awesome, and she's great with numbers. Right now, in about an hour, we still are almost there. So we have our retakers for 8th grade English. So those who know the power of prayer, we're asking with that. But I thank you for what you do. And the kids were excited because they wanted that outside feedback, and you helped us get a little closer. So thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Dr. Barger and Lizette Deal, can you join me up here, please? I do this with a little fear, but Charlie, would you elaborate what we do with Lansdowne High School?
30 seconds or less.
Thank you. Very quickly, as I said, we had two outstanding Interact advisors in the last 11 years who did some incredible things this year because of the rush of things and the crush. We didn't have any formal meetings, but the kids had a great year. They did a lot of good stuff. And next year, I hope they're trying to get us a new advisor. Hopefully, they can help us there and continue with the great work that we've done at your school for the past 11 years.
And I was remiss, Dr. Love, would you join us also, please?
She's with him.
She's having.
She can live with us.
But I live with them all the time.
Lansdowne,
Lansdowne,
right over there.
Lansdowne, okay.
Keep walking,
All right,
keep walking.
keep
You
going.
got-
Keep
Thank you.
That's okay.
There I go for thinking.
Why are you pointing at me?
You're a hard act to follow, you know?
And you get to do it. I keep dropping things.
Good.
Dr. Barger, thank you so much for your gift to education. I
Thanks,
hope
sir.
this will help you do it a little bit more.
Thank you. It's all about the kids.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you again for having me back. It seems like about every 3 or 4 months I'm back here with you having breakfast, which, as I've shared with you, is always a delight. I really think we need to videotape one of your meetings and take it back to our faculty meetings. Don't you think, Ms. Johnson, that would be great?
It's already there.
There you go, and show our teachers the levity and just the friendship that goes on here, because Jim and I have been just sitting smiling and laughing and thinking this is great. You do so much for our school, for a multitude of programs, Interact, but also with STEM engineering with our robotics organization. You've supported the Lady Eagle engineers from their inception, and we really do appreciate it. I know a lot of times, you know, people say, well, it's not a lot of money. Anything that we receive is a lot of money, and it's well appreciated and received and utilized, every single cent. I know not long ago y'all asked me kind of for accountability to give you an idea of what it is we spend the money on. And I sent in a list, and you know, it was kind of like when you looked at the list, it looked like it was $10,000, and I said, because that's what that seems like to us. So thank you for your continued support. But now to talk a little bit about Jim. The first thing, if you know anything about Jim, this is his worst nightmare, is standing up in front of a group of people being recognized. I've worked with Jim now. I've had the honor and privilege of working side by side with him for 11 years, developing our program at Lansdowne. And in that 11 years, I'm not exaggerating. If I tell you he has helped to bring back thousands of state, national, and international awards to our school through the sponsorship, mentorship, and teaching that he's done with our young people, that's a low number. And I think I have 3 pictures of him over that time frame. He hates to be acknowledged. And yet, we all know that if it weren't for him, he is a driving force behind what we do. He was a Teacher of the Year just this past year, and it was well overdue for all that he does, not just for the kids, but I think he inspires the faculty. Jim is one of those people, you'd think he was one of the administrators. He is there before we oftentimes get to work, and he's there many hours after we close up the building. The custodians have to run him out. And that's 5 days a week, and he takes multiple trips throughout the year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, away from his beautiful wife to spend time sponsoring the kids and chaperoning them. So he is a phenomenal educator, and it's my privilege I'm glad you're getting this on video, because it's probably the only live feed I'll ever have of him. I'm getting a cutout cardboard image of him so that we can just kind of like a, one of those bobbleheads or whatever, and just kind of fatheads and put it in the picture. But he's a phenomenal person to work with, and even though this makes 39 years, I told him I was adding it up. This is 39 years. I think we got a few years left.
Yeah, we got 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, stop talking and get over here. Tom Quinn and Bill Harris, would you join us? Dave Mansfield, I think you could cite some of the things that we have done for Kentsville High School.
Well, we've sponsored the Interact Club for a number of years. We've provided funds for their Leadership Academy program, or their leadership program. We've provided support for their yearbook.
Construction.
We provided judges for construction and homecoming floats.
Funds for the all night.
Funds for the all-night party. My
Judges-
wife for significant portions of her life.
Career fair.
And they have given us Christmas programs for years with the Magical Singers.
Yes, they have.
Over 20.
Shirley, you had to say again?
Over 20.
Over 20 times they've come.
We also provided judges for the DECA competition that has been in the school. That's been a lot of fun. The guys have come and really enjoyed it.
We also took the Interact to Washington on the 535.
Oh yeah, they went with us when we did the trip to DC.
Tom, would you please accept this as something to help you be a better educator?
I will do, thank you.
I don't know which one.
I'll be very brief, there are 2 of us here, and it's amazing what goes on in these Virginia Beach schools, CTAC, Bayside, Lansdowne. It's amazing. It's just an honor to be with you guys. Honor to be with the Rotary Club, as always, like the set said. Seems like we're here every 2 months. It's fun. You guys are just awesome. I look forward to it very, very much. Membership. It's a good excuse to have breakfasts every day. Absolutely right. You're right. You're right. Guilty as charged. There are great teachers out there. There are lots of them. Our schools are full of them. There are also great teachers who rise to great challenges, who decide to get involved in schools in ways that have an impact beyond just their own students. And Tom has an amazing impact on his students, amazing impact on his AP Euro students, amazing impact on his AVID students. Dr. Love will talk about AVID a little bit more in just a second, but it stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. I hate acronyms, but I love what AVID stands for, because we can talk about SOL scores, and we want them to go up, we need them to go up, you guys expect us to have them go up, we need to do that. We can do that by trying to drill and kill it into their heads, and hopefully they can remember it long enough to pass a test. Or we can teach kids how to learn, how to collaborate, how to use their time, how to pose a question, and enable them to have the skills that they need in order to be able to answer any question from any person at any time and present that answer in a meaningful, logical way. We tried to reorganize our teacher leadership programs this past year. We used to be organized like most high schools by departments. It was a management structure, it wasn't an educational structure. We changed our focus to instruction. We dismantled department chairs in the traditional sense. We formed 10 teacher leader. They've since renamed themselves the captains to take the point, their interdisciplinary group. They're talking about instruction, they're talking about how to plan for learning, they're talking about morale, they're talking about all the things with the teachers from a collegial standpoint, a collaborative standpoint, that allows that conversation to take place in a much safer environment, brings more people into the conversation. As a result, rising tide lifts all boats, and Mr. Quinn is the rising tide in terms of high school. So, Dr. Love.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you all for inviting us us here today, and it's wonderful to be among some of the most wonderful educators that I've had the pleasure of working with in my career with Virginia Beach City Public Schools. I'm Linda Love, and I work with the AVID system in Virginia Beach schools, and I'm fortunate enough to work with site coordinators and instructors such as Tom Quinn. Tom introduced me to AVID. He was my AVID mentor when I came in to work with AVID about 6 years ago, and starting at square one, he pretty much shepherded me in learning what it takes to help students get to college. We're a college readiness system, and we currently serve now 19 AVID sites, middle schools and feeder high schools. Not all the schools are in the network yet, but we're working on that. Tom is astounding in the way that he cares for our AVID students who sign up for a year-long elective program in grades 6 through 12. And they sign up for the course every year, and every year he is in front of their desk, he is texting them and tweeting them and urging them to do the hard work that it takes to get to college, to build those skills that will prepare them for college and the workplace. AVID is an economic development solution. It has wide-reaching scope in that it sends students to college, middle students who are virtually invisible in our schools, who don't have parents or family who went to college, who are following this invisible trail and trying to figure it out themselves. Tom and his colleagues at the school, school-wide, with Bill's support, with counselor support, with Paula's support at Bayside High, another AVID system that is very successful. With the team coming together and supporting our students, they all have a chance to do whatever they want. They set their goals, they come up with their plans, they work on their academics. Every quarter counts. That GPA has to be high, they have to take their college boards to get into school, they have to develop their leadership skills, and Tom is the exemplary mentor and instructional coach. I call him coach. He really is a true coach to everybody on his team, to me, to his students, to his principal, and I really, really appreciate your leadership, your friendship, and your collegiality. The way he collaborates with students, the way that he collaborates with staff, with colleagues, with friends. It's a learning community that is so dynamic, like all of our other AVID sites at Bayside and other places, and Lansdowne High School, which is an international AVID demonstration site. So we have some consummate AVID educators sitting right in this room. I also wanted to appreciate Tom for his great work, for his leadership, for his friendship, for his support of all of the students, thousands of students who are currently in college who would never have been there had it not been for his special care. And I also wanted to thank the Rotarians as well. My father was a Rotarian with the Virginia Beach Club many moons ago when he was here building sewer systems for Hampton roads. And I never knew what that was growing up, but I figured out what that was when I became a Sertoman. And my Sertoma Club folded, and I have been looking for a place to belong and serve our community in Virginia Beach. And I have to say, I so admire the work that you've been doing and you continue to do, and I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you do for your community, for our students, and for these wonderful educators who are here today. So, and if you need information about AVID, I was thinking about how could Rotary Club.
And that's about it. And so, next bio, Katie.
Thank you, Ryan. My name is Katie Brinson. I am a transplant from Northern Virginia. I have been here for about a year. I moved down here last year when I found out I was pregnant with twins. My husband and I were commuting about 6 hours a day between us, working in downtown DC and Arlington. Was in the banking industry, helping clients on Capitol Hill, working with people at the World Bank. And it's a little crazy when you've got kids. So we decided to come down and live the laid-back lifestyle. I work right now at McLean Mortgage. I've had a relationship with them for several years, and love what I do. I'm a certified mortgage advisor. I help people achieve the dream of homeownership, help my investors find more properties to grow their wealth in their portfolio. I've got 3 crazy kids. I have 7-month-old identical twin boys, and I have an 8-year-old at Tallwood Elementary School, 2nd grade. So 3 boys is a little nuts. A little crazy in my house. There's never any food. It's not to get any better. No. My husband and I got married 2 weeks after I turned 21. I met him at a heavy metal festival. I got home and my dad was like, "Where are you?" I said, "I met a guy." He's like, "You're not going to marry him." I'm like, "Yes, I am." And we celebrate 10 years next month. So I'm very excited. We're here for the Connect with the Wish. Just 2 quick testaments to the power of education. Did any of you see the Connect with the Wish story, Joy, from they work with foster kids? I'm very proud to be one of the 1/2 of 1%. Less than 1/2 of 1% of children in foster care go on to get an advanced degree, and I actually earned my MBA 2 years ago. So as a child in foster care, it's a testament to the power of educators, because when you're in the foster care system, without the levity and the stability that educators bring, it's very difficult to find a passion for education. So education is what kept me going. Secondly, a testament to Virginia Beach Public Schools. Moving down here from Northern Virginia, I did not know what to expect. I have friends all over the state, the 2nd graders, and we compare notes every week. And my son is learning way more than my friends' kids, and to the point of like sitting down my 7-month-old, and he's like, "Dude, we're gonna have a lecture today." And the other day I'm like, "What are you teaching my children?" He said, "Mommy, I want to tell them about probability." I said, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "Boys, there's a 1 in 5 chance we're having broccoli for dinner." Shout out to Virginia Beach Schools. To introduce our next speaker, and that's TJ Sheehan.
Good job. I'll leave that over to Well, good morning, everyone. I want to firstly thank Chester Long for sponsoring me into the Rotary Club of Hampton Roads. I'm honored to be a part of this group. A little bit about me. I was born in South Korea. I was adopted about 4 months, so Joe keeps sending me this stuff, but I can't read it. He doesn't know that, obviously. It's on videotape now, so he can check it out. So I grew up in a small rural community. Believe it or not, I grew up in a village of Sterling, Michigan, not to be confused with Sterling Heights. So a village about 2,000 people. So I kind of grew up working in horse barn, believe it or not. So if anyone needs to muck a stall, I could do that. Although I probably wouldn't like to do that anymore. But anyway, so I grew up, like I said, in a small community. Really enjoyed sports, basketball, baseball. Kind of just really loved being part of the team, and went on to study graphic design at a local university. My mom really encouraged me to do that. So that was really great, and the educators there were really formative in my life. And I went on to work at a small advertising agency for about 2-3 years, and when I decided to move on from there, I got involved with nonprofit work. I basically started working at a YMCA type model, and I was there for about 5 years. And during that time, I was able to meet a really great mentor of mine. His name's Tom Klein. He was a former governor of the Saginaw Rotary Club in Michigan. So he introduced me to Rotary, and he actually was able to get me to go on a group study exchange degree. So this was something that I was able to get from Rhodes. So I was on the group study exchange for about a month, and if anyone has an opportunity to visit Greece, it's absolutely beautiful, and it was quite an experience. And here's another flag here from
Crete. This was from the district conference. So really have a great appreciation for Rotary and what they do. And now, what I do now is I work at Operation Blessing International. I'm the Director of Corporate Strategy and Branding. And if anyone knows what Operation Blessing does, I've got a list here. Sometimes I don't even know everything that we do. But we do safe water, disaster relief. We have a Blessed Child program. We do hunger relief, health and medical care. We aid the persecuted. There's human trafficking programs, microenterprise, and aquaculture. And the latest project that we're working on is Zika relief. I specifically work in the food relief arm of our nonprofit. So we reach out to food manufacturers and we just ask for food. So that's what we do. Really thankful for all the opportunities that Rotary's given me, and actually I met my wife through Rotary. So that's kind of a cool story as well, but glad to be here and glad to be part of the club.
What a theme, education throughout the whole morning together. Ryan, Katie, DJ, thank you so very much. For any of you guests who would like to affiliate with this idea of Rotary, one of the first things that you will be given an opportunity to do is to give your bio, and you've heard 3 today. And Linda, I'm not kidding. We look forward to hearing your bio. We will reserve a couple of hours for that.
I have 3 bullets, that's all, 3 smooth things, that's all.
Linda and I talked together at Salem High School a number of years ago, more than I want to admit, and she won't admit knowing me at all.
I didn't say that.
I have a job I would like you to help us with. If you would come up, please. Now, many of us have a few of these little red things. Each one of them have a number, and what I'd like you to do is dig around in there and take out one. Last 3. And give us the last 3 numbers.
I should wear my glasses. 651.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to come to this meeting's attention?
Got the highway.
Oh, I'm sorry, Father Jim.
That's fine. Even though we're not meeting on Friday, on Saturday the 25th, the day of our banquet, we're going to be out cleaning the highway. Kennisville Road.
So go out and get dirty, then we can clean up and have fun.
Yeah, right there we go.
Anything else? Linda.
One sentence, if anyone needs information about Abbott, I have some flyers.
Thank you.
Have you got a deal for us?
Charlie, she can out-talk you any day.
Oh my God.
So be Chester, so what?
Be a gift to the world. This meeting is adjourned.
Hey, Don, I think I've got 1, 2, and Jim Orlando has everything else. Do you have a screwdriver that had the little bits around it? Screwdriver.